Commander Zixthal's. 3 eyes blinked in rapid succession as he watched the human transport ship descend through the crimson atmosphere of Kregath 7. The Galactic Council had been fighting the Vraken swarm here for 6 planetary rotations, losing ground with each passing cycle. His own species, the mighty Thoraxians, had sent their finest warriors, each standing 3 meters tall with exoskeletons that could withstand plasma fire. The insectoid Klaxi had deployed their hive mind battalions. Even the crystalline lumens had committed their photonic warriors to the cause. And still, they were losing. "The humans have arrived," his tactical officer announced, mandibles clicking nervously. Zixthal had read the reports about Earth. Classified as a Class 12 Deathworld, the highest rating on the galactic danger scale was Class 9. Earth exceeded it by 3 full classifications, a planet where nearly everything was designed to kill, where the dominant species had clawed its way to the top of an impossibly hostile food chain, where water fell from the sky with enough force to injure, where the star's radiation could burn flesh, where microscopic organisms waged constant war against all life. The humans called it home. The transport doors hissed open, and Zixthal felt his breathing tubes constrict. Instead of the young, prime-age warriors he expected, a group of elderly humans emerged. Their faces were creased with wrinkles, their bodies far past what any civilized species would consider combat-ready. The oldest among them moved with a pronounced limp, supporting himself with a mechanical exoskeleton that wheezed with each step. "There must be some mistake," Zixthal muttered. "These humans are ancient. Our translators indicate they call themselves veterans," his officer replied. "Records show ages ranging from 60 to 90 Earth years. 90 years. That was beyond the combat lifespan of any known species. The Thoraxians retired their warriors at 30 cycles. These humans were 3 times that age." The lead human approached, his hair the color of steel, a jagged scar running down the left side of his weathered face. He saluted with mechanical precision. "Sergeant Marcus Chen, Human Expeditionary Force, retired. We're here to relieve your position, Commander." "Relieve?" Zixthal couldn't keep the skepticism from his voice translator. "Sergeant, no disrespect intended, but your soldiers appear to be beyond their optimal fighting years." Chen's lips pulled back, revealing aged teeth in what humans called a smile. "Commander, I was storming enemy positions before you were hatched. My youngest trooper here has 40 years of combat experience. We've fought in jungles, deserts, frozen wastelands, and vacuum. We've faced enemies that would make your Vraken look like training dummies." Before Zixthal could respond, the alarm shrieked. The Vraken were launching another assault. Thousands of the chitinous monsters pouring over the ridge like a living wave of death. His Thoraxian warriors scrambled to defensive positions, their plasma rifles humming to life. The old humans didn't scramble. They didn't panic. They simply moved into formation with a fluid efficiency that spoke of decades of muscle memory. Chen barked orders and his elderly squad deployed with the coordination of a single organism. "Left flank suppressing fire. Jenkins, get that heavy weapon positioned on the rise. Martinez, I want grenades on that cluster at 200 meters. Everyone else, controlled bursts, conserve ammunition." Zixthal watched in horrified fascination as the humans engaged, where his own warriors fired wildly, burning through energy cells. The humans squeezed their triggers with deliberate precision. Each shot counted. Each movement had purpose. There was no wasted effort, no unnecessary motion. An elderly woman with white hair and cybernetic legs moved through the battlefield like death itself. She didn't run, she didn't rush. She simply walked forward, her rifle barking rhythmically, and Vraken fell with each report. Beside her, a gray-bearded man who appeared to be missing an eye coordinated mortar strikes with casual efficiency, calling coordinates as if ordering lunch. "They're not fighting harder," Zixthal's tactical officer observed with awe. "They're fighting smarter," it was true. The Vraken, accustomed to overwhelming their enemies through sheer numbers and ferocity, found themselves stymied. The humans had positioned themselves in mutually supporting positions, created kill zones, established fallback points. They treated the battlefield like a chessboard, anticipating every move. Chen appeared beside Zixthal, reloading his weapon without looking at it. "Your warriors fight with courage, Commander. But courage without experience is just noise. These Vraken? We've fought worse." "On our own planet before we ever left it. How?" Zixthal asked. "How can your elderly maintain such combat effectiveness?" Chen's scarred face grew thoughtful. "Because we've learned something that you younger species haven't figured out yet. War isn't about who's strongest or fastest. It's about who's willing to endure, who can think when the shooting starts, who remembers that violence is a tool, not an emotion. We've had decades to master our fear, to temper our aggression, to understand that the soldier who survives isn't the hero charging forward. It's the professional who does the job and comes home. A massive Vraken, twice the size of its brethren, burst from the ground directly in front of them. Zixthal's weapons were still holstered. The creature's mandibles opened wide, ready to strike. Chen shot it 3 times, center mass, without hurrying. The Vraken collapsed. Besides, the old sergeant continued, holstering his sidearm, on a Deathworld, you either learn to fight smart or you don't get old. Every human veteran you see here has survived not just war, but Earth itself. That's 2 separate accomplishments most species never achieve. By the time the twin suns set on Kragath 7, the Vraken assault had been repelled, not through superior firepower or overwhelming force, but through tactical precision and hard-won experience. The elderly humans stood among the carnage, their weapons maintained, their positions secure, looking like they'd simply completed another day's work. Zixthal approached Chen as the old soldier supervised the establishment of a defensive perimeter. I apologize, Sergeant. I underestimated your warriors. Chen nodded, accepting the apology. Most do, Commander. They see gray hair and assume weakness. They forget that on Earth, gray hair means survival. And survival means learning lessons that younger soldiers haven't lived long enough to understand. As the human transport prepared for departure after their rotation, Zixthal filed his report to the Galactic Council. He recommended that humanity's veteran forces be given priority deployment to critical war zones. After all, he noted in his official documentation, any species that survived long enough to grow old on a Class 12 Deathworld had earned the right to be taken seriously.